Hey y'all, so in today's video, I am just going to be doing some front flower bed maintenance. I went up there to plant one Mexican feathergrass. So I got a couple extra Mexican feathergrass recently because I had one or maybe two that didn't make it through the winter, but I wanted to give them a chance, and I've given them well enough chance at this point. And I went and tugged on some of the Mexican feathergrass and it just kind of ripped right out of the ground. So I know it's rotted, I know it didn't make it. So I'm going to replace some of those Mexican feathergrass. And then while I was up there looking at those, I saw a lot of weeds and just my personality, when I see stuff like that, I just can't not immediately go and do that. So I'm going to go up there and do some weeding, number one. Number two, I'm going to pull the pansies. I am really far behind as far as the front. We've been working on the back. So the front is a little bit lagging, and I really have already needed to get the front annuals in, and I just haven't done it. And I really don't even know what I'm going to put up there. So we'll consider it a full sun up there for the most part. So if you have any comments or suggestions, please put them in the comments down below and I will take those into account. It's probably going to be either white, purple, or pink. But anyways, give your suggestions down below. The next thing is I'm going to cut back the Allium, or they should be ready to cut back at this point, and I'll show you when you know that they are ready to be cut back. So I'll either cut them or I might just be able to tug them at this point. Honestly, I haven't looked close enough to know how dried out they are, but I might just be able to tug them up out of the ground. And some people leave them for interest after they're done blooming, and I have done that for 2 or 3 weeks at this point. I think they are very pretty up there even when they are out of bloom. So I've left them for long enough, and I'm going to get ready to pull a lot of stuff up there. I think I'll pull all the Larkspur and the Minoan Lace so I don't get so much self-seeded Minoan Lace and Larkspur next spring. But back to the Allium. So the Allium, some people leave them, like I said, for interest, which is what I do. Some people cut them and put them in dried arrangements. Some people spray paint them, and some people just cut them back. So just whatever is your preferred method, but I think that they need to go at this point up there today along with the rest of the stuff. So it's going to look like a totally different flower bed up there. Once I am done, I'm going to do some pretty heavy thinning out. So why don't I just go ahead and get my equipment and we'll head up front. All right, got my Felcos, got my gloves, got my Fiskars hard bottom kangaroo bag. So let's go up front and get started. Okay, and here's a look at the front. So it's just kind of past its prime as far as the Larkspur and the Minoan Lace goes. There's a huge bumblebee right over there. But I am just over it at this point, and I want all of the tall out, including the Allium. And if I let the Larkspur and the Minoan Lace go any further, I am going to get a ton of self-seeded Larkspur and Minoan Lace. And last year I didn't pull it quick enough, and all of this that you see up here, I have already thinned this out an entire trash can's worth of Minoan Lace and Larkspur. So I'm going to try to prevent from having to do all that thinning out next year. So I'm hopefully this will be early enough, because it's already gone to seed. So hopefully this will be early enough to where I can prevent that from happening again in the spring. But let's go over here and really quick look at the Allium. Okay, so on this Allium, you can see that all of the leaves are totally done, and I don't think the stalks are going to be just pullable at this point, so I think I'm going to have to clip them. So I'm just going to go down at the base and clip them and kind of clean up their leaves. And that's all there is to it. So these Allium will come back next year. They're a perennial here for us. But here is a look at the dried up bloom head. They are really pretty and could easily be used in some dried arrangements. They would be really pretty spray painted or left just as is. So I'm going to go through and do that to all the Allium. I'm also going to thin and get rid of all the Minoan lace at this point and the Larkspur. All right, well, it looks a lot different. All of the tall Larkspur and the Minoan lace are gone. You can see here my huge piles that I'm getting ready to pick up. I still have a couple piles in the flower beds that need to be picked up, but I'm liking the low-key look of it without all of the height. Again, you can see the boxwoods. I really need to trim them up again. They went crazy after I trimmed them this spring, but you can see some of the structural plants. And then now that a lot of these plants have been in the ground for you know, a fall and a winter, and then they're starting to flush out again here in the spring, I can see where I need to fill in things. And something else that I'll show you over here. So I should have cleared this Minoan lace and the Larkspur out even more. You can see these are Mr. Goodbud Sedum right there, and right there. And they all look just okay. This one looks really bad. It looks like it was receiving just too much moisture and didn't have proper airflow. And there was quite a few salvia that were the exact same way. So note to self, I'll be pulling those even earlier next season and or thinning them out much more initially. All right, well, looking quite a bit more tidy and cleaned up in my opinion. Can't wait to get some more drought tolerant plants in the middle of some of the voids that you see there. And I got some yarrow the other day because they had some pink yarrow, but they only had 2. I definitely want some more yarrow. And I forgot to pull these pansies right here, but I've already blown. So those will have to wait for another day. But excited to get some more plants in the ground up here coming pretty soon. You can see a lot of the bare spots that I have right here, and I just want it to be a lot more full. Now granted, all of these plants are going to get quite a bit bigger. They're not even close to their mature size, most of them, and a lot of things I cut back pretty hard, like this Nepeta right here. I forget what variety that catmint is. For those of you that may not know, Nepeta is catmint. It is a pink variety though, but I can't remember exactly. I'll have to go back and look, and if I can find it, I'll put it up on the screen. But that is all that I have for this video. I appreciate you guys so much for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.